Hello Facebook family, this is Judge Shaquita Kelly here, and I decided to do a video after getting many questions about curls, clippers, and conversations. And instead of writing a long status that you probably wouldn't read anyway, I figured I'd just do a quick video explaining what it is. Curls, clippers, and conversation came about because what I realized while being a judge and being in the community, trying to help the community and plan different programs that enlighten the community about the criminal justice system, what I realized was those that I was speaking to were pretty well informed. And the people who I needed to reach out to, the people who typically end up in my court or typically end up making really bad decisions that affect their life, I don't come in contact with them until they're in my court. And so I had to kind of go back to when I was making bad decisions as a young adult, who I confided in and who made a difference in my life, and it was my hairstylist. And so I came up with the curls, clippers, and conversation, which has 3 prongs. I have it in a triangle in the diagram with community at the top of the triangle and career and courts on the other ends of the triangle. The purpose of curls, clippers, and conversation is to provide resources to the community where they are through who they see. And everyone goes to get their hair cut or goes and get their hair done, and I want you to be able to get some knowledge while you're there. For the children, Dallas leads in the nation in child hunger. I want you to be able to stop at your barber's salon and get a snack. For those students who are struggling in school, we're identifying those test scores, those STAR scores, and we're finding the salons and the barbers that are in your neighborhood. So when you're walking home from school, you can stop in the barbershop, the local barbershop, or the beauty salon, and there will be a tutor there that can teach you about math or science or whatever subject that your school is known to be struggling in on the STAR test. We also want to provide things like mentorships and back to school. There's a lot of beauticians and barbers that have all these great back to school deals, free haircuts, or hey, we're giving away free book bags. Well, we want to be a central location where you can get online and you can find all of these salons throughout the Metroplex where if you can't afford to get your child those uniforms, there's a salon down the street that is giving them away on a certain day. So that's kind of a little bit of the community aspect. But as to my barbers and my beauticians, you're like, okay, well, that's great. I'd love to be involved in the community, but the bottom line is that I want to make some money too. Well, the other aspect, I told you there was a triangle with 3 areas. You have community at the top, courts, and career on the side prongs of the triangle. And the career aspect is to build wealth. I mean, that's what you're in this industry for. Some of you have had a run-in with the law and you couldn't get a job, and so you had to start your own business. Well, Curls, Clippers, and Conversation wants to be a resource so that you can get your classes. We can host classes and networking events where you can meet vendors. You can learn how to build wealth. Resources are everything. Who makes a difference in society. And so Curls, Clippers, and Conversation also wants to provide that amongst a lot of other things for you to build your business. Because if you build your business in the community, you're going to be helping the community. So we're just as invested in building your business as we are with helping the community. The third prong is courts, which is where I became involved. Courts is really important because we have so many things that we see in the news. We have police brutality. We have disappointment with jury verdicts and voting results. We're disappointed with those. And so I have gathered a team of people who will help educate not only the barbers and the stylists, but the community in regards to what to do, if you're pulled over, how to properly respond. You know, I was told by an officer, which I never really knew this, but I was told by an officer a long time ago that a lot of older black women put their purses in the trunk of a car. And so when they get pulled over, sometimes they try to get out of the car to go get their purse out of the trunk of the car. And that that can be seen as an aggressive move. It could cause some concern to a police officer if they don't know what that person is doing. And so it's just little things that it'd be good to know. I'm not saying that it's going to eliminate any situations. I cannot tell you that, but it'd be good to know how to deal with a police officer, as well as jury service, why it's important. What does it mean? What is a grand jury? And how does that affect your personal life? One thing I did last year in regards to the court system is you should know your judges, because we are in your households more than Trump. We are in your households more than the people in D.C. We are the people who are deciding on whether or not you keep your kids, deciding on whether or not your cousin's going to get out on bond. There's a lot at stake when dealing with judges, and so I created a aspect of Curls, Clippers, and Conversations where you can be involved with the voting process by registering people to vote right there in your salon. So when you have clients that are getting their hair done, you can just hand them the voter registration card, let them register to vote. If they have some questions, you may be able to answer them, but it's just kind of a way so that you can be part of the change. You know, we have so many people complaining about what they see on TV, getting frustrated, but I just don't get it. Like, if you're gonna complain, you need to do something behind that complaint. Don't just sit there and complain, because it gets you nowhere. So I'm looking for ambassadors, which are stylists, barbers, beauticians, to open up their salons. I'm not asking you to go out in the streets and do anything. I'm asking you to just be a resource in your community. And that means allowing a kid to come get a snack, allowing a kid to get tutored, allowing someone to register to vote from your booth, networking, telling someone who just got out of barber school some ideas and some suggestions. I mean, we can, if we work together, can become great together. And I always say that I'm only here today because of my ancestors who paved the way for me, my ancestors who died just so that they didn't have to go walk 5 miles to go to a bathroom. And you guys seen Hidden Figures, and I don't take that lightly. And so I'm calling on all of the beauticians and barbers that really just want to be a part of the change. You don't have to stand outside and protest and riot to make a change. That's not the only way. You can do something right inside your own salon. So I've held you too long. It's been 8 minutes and 23 seconds. I just wanted to give you a brief synopsis of what Curls, Clippers, and Conversation is. I hope that you join us. We're having another ambassador meeting on Monday the 19th at noon in my courtroom, and that is on 133 North Riverfront Boulevard, 4th floor, Court 11.